It's Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to give you a bit of breaking security news that is of interest to anyone who uses Wi-Fi, which is, well, probably all of us at some point. So disclosed just today, October 16th, was a new hack that cracks the WPA2 security standard, which is central to basically every modern Wi-Fi device. When you're putting in a password to connect to a Wi-Fi network, odds are it's using the WPA2 standard, and this new crack will allow somebody to eavesdrop. This is the first time that the WPA2 standard has been cracked, and ironically, this attack is been dubbed KRACK, K-R-A-C-K, and you will see it in the news a lot today and over the coming weeks. And this stands for Key Reinstallation Attack. So what this is doing is somebody in range of your Wi-Fi is listening in to the connection, intercepting, and basically making themselves a man-in-the-middle hotspot, and they're tricking your devices to reusing a key that they're providing and breaking the encryption in the process. They're not guessing the password, and that's what's really different about this. In the past, the only way somebody could hack and listen in on a WPA2 connection was to basically use supercomputer power to brute force guess a password. It would take sometimes 100 years if you have a long password. This can be done almost instantly, particularly for people who are running a newer version of Android or Linux. So about 40% of the Android devices out there can be cracked instantly with this KRACK attack. So that's a big deal. But there's really, there's a reason that a lot of security researchers are kind of freaked out and panicking about this, because it affects every Wi-Fi device out there until they are fixed. But there's not really an ultimate reason to panic. First off, the attacker has to be within range of you. Second off, this attack is brand new and it is not out in hacking circles yet, so there's time for fixes to get out there before this is widely added to hacker toolboxes. Third, when you're connected to a website, even over a secure WPA2 connected Wi-Fi network, this crack just makes it as if you're connected to a public network, so people can listen in. But if you're going to a website that has the little padlock in the top corner of the website and is using HTTPS instead of HTTP for that connection, your connection to the website is secure between your computer and that website, no matter what's going on in between. There are some ways to trick sites to drop out of HTTPS to HTTP mode, but as long as that padlock is showing in your browser, you are safe, even if this KRACK attack is going on. So banks and Google and Facebook and all these sites, you're still pretty darn safe. Fourth, if you're using a VPN, that's also like using HTTPS all the time for everything on your computer to the VPN server. So even if somebody is snooping on your local connection, well, you're doing okay. Now, what about fixes to KRACK? This is a big thing. It's impacting every single Wi-Fi device out there. The fix has to happen on the client devices. So Apple just announced a few minutes ago that they actually already have a fix in place in the beta versions, current beta versions of all versions of iOS and macOS. So those will be going out to the public and probably within the next few weeks. Expect Windows to be updated very quickly. The Pepwave and WiFiRanger routers both have updates coming within the next few weeks that will fix when the router is running in Wi-Fi and WAN mode and using its upstream connection for Wi-Fi. The big catch is Android. Android devices tend to be very slow to get security updates, if at all, and Android devices are the only devices really that are impacted by this easy instant version of KRACK that can snoop them very, very quickly. So anybody with an Android device, pay attention to security updates. If your device is old and orphaned, you might want to take that into account and just keep that in mind in your head that your security might be compromised and there might not be a fix coming. Pay attention to this news. Their security story is developing right now. The researcher is going to be presenting more details on KRACK on November 1st. And this is kind of the biggest thing to hit Wi-Fi in years. It's definitely an interesting story and it impacts all of us.